K8 News.
We'll make 30 to 40 calls a day, usually. So that's a lot of instances you could be engaged with an emergency vehicle.
It happens every day. Lights flashing, sirens, an emergency vehicle coming down the road. Do you know what to do when you have a split moment to react? Every state, including Arkansas, requires drivers to move over. But what do our first responders see? How do they train for the unknown? Our Alejandro Hernandez sat down with the Jonesboro Fire Department and Emerson Ambulance and got some answers.
Answering the call for help is just a part of the job for first responders, and getting to that emergency quickly is a matter of life and death. But the biggest obstacle sometimes is getting there. Jonesboro Fire Chief Marty Hamrick has answered thousands of calls throughout his career. He said responders see issues on calls when they are driving towards an emergency.
The majority of the time, not moving to the right or just stopping right in front of you, whether it may be they're coming into oncoming traffic, getting in a turning lane in front of you and just stopping, or both lanes, if you're all traveling southbound and both southbound lanes just stop right in front of you.
Check this video out. The fire truck is trying to turn right, but it can't because instead of stopping, a driver just continues and the driver has to wait to turn. Here, the truck is already on the opposite lane, and this truck doesn't stop and turns while a fire truck is coming, and this other car just ignores the siren and the truck and just passes through. Or here, see this car? The driver pulls out from the intersection while there's a truck heading its way and stops in the center lane where the truck is driving. Hamrick said firefighters have to train for situations like this.
They've got to prove that they can do all the maneuvers they're going to need to, even traveling through some restricted passage openings just to make sure they can drive that truck straight. They're not wobbling, and try to not hitting anything on either side of them, but they're required to do that once a year.
It's not just firefighters who train. Eric White is an emergency medical technician with Emerson. He said his crews also prepare for the road, but there's something else at stake when they drive.
Back here, we actually have a person up and working on the patient almost at all times. We do have seat belts back here, but it makes it harder for us to be able to reach across the ambulance and get a medication or an IV set up when our drivers trying to slam on their brakes to keep from hitting someone else.
The dangers on the road don't stop when the responders get to their emergency.
When you're at the call, you're pretty much stalled. And what issues do you see?
All the time. People wanting to, we call it rubbernecking. People wanting to just look to see what we're doing on the side of the road or something else. There's a lot of people that get into accidents just doing that, trying to see what we're doing.
Over 28,000 traffic crashes happened along the shoulder in 2023. Just under 600 were deadly. So what do first responders see? White drove an ambulance down some county roads to show us.
Even though we're coming up to a merge, they still done what they needed to do and get over and slow down.
Should they be stopping?
They don't have to stop completely as long as they got over and slowed down. It's actually exactly what they're supposed to do.
Most cars got out of the way, some didn't, but some did even more on the road.
I think one car just got out of the way.
Yep, and there's a lot of them that do that, and I know I appreciate it more than they'll ever know.
So what exactly do drivers need to do when they're driving and they see or hear an emergency vehicle? Chief Hamrick explains.
Wherever you're at, you should try to move as far right as possible to allow, hopefully to allow the center lanes a safe lane for the apparatus to pass.
Arkansas's move over law requires drivers to move over or slow down. But what happens when you can't move, like you're stopped in traffic or at a turning lane?
So in those instances, it's just best just to stop, let that traffic pass, or emergency traffic get by you before you try to do anything, whether it be in a turning lane or approaching an intersection or what have you.
He said there's another issue some drivers need to be aware of. Some cars can drown out sound from outside, meaning they may have no clue an emergency vehicle is coming. But the HOS system, which is implemented in some emergency vehicles, is trying to help.
And it sends out a emergency warning to apps such as Waze or some of those navigation apps you may already have in your car, and that will alert you that emergency vehicle is approaching. They will not only alert you, they will mute your radio, mute your phone. They turn everything down so you know that apparatus is coming.
There are penalties for not moving over or slowing down for emergency vehicles, whether they're on their way to or at an emergency. Hamrick said they're just trying to make every second count.
For firefighters, Hamrick said a slower response could hurt its ISO or Insurance Services Office rating. Violations of the move over law could result in a fine from $250 to $1,000 and even jail time or the loss of a license.